mini Iron Maiden reunion, an old school tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, and Twisted Sister are back from the void. Metal is life and well, so let's see what keeps it going today. Here you go. Spinal Tap is back.
Something so bitchin' happened in that kitchen. It wasn't the peanut swirl.
So it's official, the legendary Tap has returned. As this week, the sequel to the cult mockumentary This Is Spinal Tap, titled Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, dropped in theaters, reuniting Nigel, David, and Derek for one last, hilariously tragic ride.
Pink torpedo. That's literature.
Yeah.
Really?
The film follows the legendary mock rockers being legally forced into a final reunion gig in New Orleans, their first one since a 2009 fallout. And here right away I have to point out that I haven't really watched this movie yet, well, because it's not out in cinemas in Ukraine for quite obvious reasons. But at the same time, despite the whole fact that many Spinal Tap fans actually were pretty vocal about the whole fact that we don't really need a sequel to This Is Spinal Tap, as the 1984 original was already perfect by itself. The reviews to this sequel, at least the ones that I've read online so far, are actually unexpectedly positive. Although it looks like this time around the movie will balance on both comedy and melancholy, reminding us that those aging rockers from 1984 are actually aging now, and so are we.
I kissed a girl. I kissed a girl.
But anyways, I'm actually one of those people who cannot wait to watch the sequel, as although yeah, I totally agree that the 1984 classic was simply incredible by itself, but I actually think that the whole fact that after the enormous success of the original, they didn't cash in on the sequel right away and have waited 41 years to do so is by itself hilariously Spinal Tap. And the whole fact that in addition to the movie, Spinal Tap have also dropped a whole album of their amazing originals, which are actually down in a whole vein of the original Spinal Tap from 1984, and which is already available on all the streaming platforms, is a wonderful gift to everyone who loves big bottoms. Here guys, super quick as always, just have to point out that only around 30% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed to this channel, so if you're not one of those, and especially if this is not the first video you're watching here, I would really, and I mean like really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing right now. Let's continue building this amazing heavy metal community together. Ozzy forever. The 2025 MTV Video Music Awards actually looked like MTV Video Music Awards, or at least they did during a powerful tribute to the late great Ozzy Osbourne, with a once-in-a-lifetime performance featuring Steven Tyler, Joel Perry, Nuno Bettencourt, and of course Ozzy's protege, Yungblud. Introduced by Jack Osbourne and Ozzy's granddaughters via video, the tribute kicked off with Yungblud tearing into Crazy Train, followed by a haunting version of Changes, after which Steven Tyler took over with Mama I'm Coming Home, joined by nobody else but the legendary Joel Perry on guitar. And here, right away, I just wanted to point out that it is so freaking incredible to see how Steven Tyler's voice, although of course it is not the same as it was back in the 70s or the 80s, but still, it progresses in the last several months, which kind of does give us hope that Aerosmith will come back up on stage. And even if they will not be able to properly finish their farewell tour, at least they will do that one last farewell show, which, as we all know, Perry simply dreams of. But overall, I just have to point out that watching this performance, after not giving a flip about MTV for a long time, simply took me like 30 years back. No, it actually felt like one of those old school all-star performances that MTV was famous for. And although we metalheads of course do not care about mainstream shows, I for once actually caught myself thinking that it would be pretty awesome if rock and metal would be represented in such mainstream events a bit more, or at least at the level that it had been for the past year or so. And B, that after seeing the success of this kind of performances, there will be a tiny bit more authenticity on TV screens once again. And here, a huge shout out and a thank you to all my patrons and all the YouTube channel members, as it is thanks to you guys and thanks to everyone who purchases Metal Pilgrim merch from around the world that I am able to create these videos amidst all the stuff that we're going through here in Ukraine. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to each and every one of you. And in case if you would like to support this show by either purchasing merch or by becoming a patron or a channel member, just know that you can do so via links in the description to this video. The Emperor Reunion. Emperor are digging deep into their legendary roots and are actually bringing some familiar faces with them. For the 2026 edition of Norway's Beyond the Gates festival, the black metal pioneers will reunite with former members Mortiis and Faust for a very special performance at the iconic Greek Hallen in Bergen. By the way, the very place where they recorded In the Nightside Eclipse. As of right now, that's pretty much everything we know about it so far, and we still don't know whether this will be a one-time thing or whether the past and the present of Emperor will collide a bit more in the future. Yet what we do know for sure is that even that by itself already is a true gift to all of the fans of this legendary black metal band. A fair Epica. Amidst all the drama, lawsuits, and quite disturbing revelations in the metal world right now, it is actually very refreshing to hear stories like this. As this week, Mark Jansen of Epica shared that the band splits all songwriting credits and earnings absolutely equally, regardless of who wrote what. The idea is simple: no egos, no fights over publishing, just a collective effort where everybody gets the same. By the way, this philosophy also extends to how they recorded their latest studio album, A Spiral, together in a live setting, building each other's ideas and focusing on the music above all else. And considering how many bands in the metal world are currently imploding over credits, money, and the backstage chaos, honestly, this is exactly the kind of energy metal really needs right now. And now the time has come for your favorite part of the video, so let's take a look at 5 latest metal releases from this week, which although did not get their own segments in this video, are still definitely worthy of your attention. Aryan mastermind Arjen Lucassen delivers his first solo album in 13 years, the apocalyptic concept record Songs No One Will Hear, out now via Inside Out Music. The story imagines humanity's final 5 months before an asteroid impact, with narration by Mike Mills and guest vocals from Floor Jansen, Irene Jansen, Marcella Bovio, Robert Soderberg, and Patty Gerdy. And by the way, I did have a rather extensive interview with Arjen, both about this album and a lot of other things, which is already available on this channel. So if you haven't watched it yet, definitely check it out. Symphonic metal band Beyond the Black releases The Art of Being Alone, new duet single featuring Chris Harms of Lord of the Lost, and the third preview from Beyond the Black's upcoming 6th studio album Break the Silence, due January 9th, 2026. The track tackles themes of mental health, self-empowerment, and resilience, and arrives with an official video. The Seattle veterans Demon Hunter returned with their 12th studio album, There Was a Light Here. Issued via the band's own Weapons MFG imprint, the album was produced by Jeremiah Scott and Ryan Clark and mix-mastered by Zeus, and according to the band, opens an absolutely new chapter for Demon Hunter. Deathcore giants Lorna Shore dropped their new full-length album I Feel the Everblack Festering Within Me via Sanctuary Media. Recorded at Graphic Nature Audio with producer Josh Schroeder, the album pushes the symphonic deathcore formula to even darker extremes. And following the viral success of Pain Remains, this record cements the band's place as one of the most dominant forces in modern extreme metal. Bay Area thrash icons Testament have released their crushing new single Shadow People via Nuclear Blast, their second single from the upcoming album Parabellum, arriving October 10th, 2025 via Nuclear Blast. And just like pretty much everything Testament do, it absolutely rocks. Twisted Sister's comeback. Now it's finally official. Twisted Sister are coming back. Dee Snider, JJ French, and Eddie Ojeda will reunite in 2026 for a massive world tour celebrating the band's 50th anniversary.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to be a cowboy, baby.
The run will feature drummer Joe Seven Franco, who was last seen together with the band all the way back in 1987 on Love is for Suckers, while bass duties will go to Russell Bzuto, who has toured with Dee Snider and once even filled in for Twisted Sister at Graspop, and it will be their first full tour since 2016's 40 and It, when they went on the road together with nobody else but Mike Portnoy. As Dee Snider himself put it, if you're lucky enough to still have fans wanting to see you after 50 years, how can you not answer the call? In 2026, Twisted Sister will hit the stages around the world because we still wanna rock. At the same time, one notable absence this time around will be that of Mark Mendoza, and according to Dee Snider himself, it all comes down to irreconcilable differences between Mark and the rest of the band. But nevertheless, Twisted Sister are coming back. And I don't know about you, but I am actually pretty excited for this. As here's the thing, I honestly don't understand some Twisted Sister fans who are actually complaining about this. As on one hand, all of the rockers and metalheads around the world are, crying about the whole fact that they will never get to see Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath once again. But at the same time, they are bitching about the whole fact that their favorite band is reuniting. And they have a chance to see them after a very long break. No, seriously, I just don't get it.
I wanna rock!
And if you're not a Twisted Sister fan, well, that's totally fine. But if you are, and you get a chance to see your favorite band once again, well, I personally do not understand why the flip you might not want to take it.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're not gonna take it. Come on!
Insane Deep Purple. Even after over 55 years in the game and a brand new studio album, which came out just several months ago, Deep Purple are still not showing any signs of even slightly slowing down. As this week, Roger Glover confirmed in a recent interview that the band has been writing throughout this off year. An off year amidst a very intense touring. But either way, Roger said that their new album might actually arrive next year. What a flip!
Respect, West Side.
And seriously, with this segment, I just want to say that I have an enormous respect for such bands as Deep Purple, who at this stage in their career definitely do not have to prove anything to anyone anymore, and they could easily tour the world and just play the songs which they've written, over 50 years ago, and no one would have said a word to them. And yet still, despite all that, they continue releasing new and new material for their die-hard fans. And the whole fact that in addition to that, Glover also said that they want to simply play and play until it stops, without any dramatic finales whatsoever, just once again proves why they are so freaking legendary. Mini Iron Maiden reunion.
Let's go!
Iron Maiden fans are getting some unexpected but very pleasant treats this month. As a couple of weeks ago, it was announced that Bruce Dickinson will be giving a speech at the Son of Monsterpalooza horror convention in Burbank, California this October. And this week, it was announced that he will be joined on it by nobody else but the legendary Nico McBrain. And so this will be the first time since Nico McBrain's decision to leave Iron Maiden, or rather live touring with Iron Maiden, that Bruce and Nico will be seen together. And the fans will be getting exactly what they want. A reunion of Nico McBrain and Bruce Dickinson on stage. But in a slightly different amplitude that we all expected, of course.
You'll see the results a little later on in the show.
In addition to that, this week Bruce Dickinson was also spotted jumping in with a street busker and belting out Judas Priest's "You've Got Another Thing Coming" in New Orleans, which of course turned heads of pretty much everyone around. And I don't know about you, but this video simply reminded me about how much we actually need a joint Iron Maiden and Judas Priest tour. No, seriously, it's been 44 years since that happened last, and it's been 44 years since fans around the world have been begging those two bands to finally do that once again. As I don't know about you, but I can't even imagine what kind of hype that tour would create in the world of metal if it would finally happen. And how much money they could charge for tickets for all the crazy heavy metal maniacs to be a part of it.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, unbelievable.
But nonetheless, that of course is just a dream, and the reality is that we most likely will never get such a tour. But what we will get very, very soon is an announcement of the second leg of Iron Maiden's Run for Your Lives tour, on which, in addition to North and South Americas, there is a very, and I mean very high chance that Iron Maiden will also be visiting Europe once again. And if that is true, there is actually quite a high chance that the program of this new leg of the Run for Your Lives tour would be slightly different from the one we saw this year. And somebody told me that there is just a couple of days left until we finally find out for sure. But anyways, what new music did you listen to this week? Please let us know in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Please don't forget to like it, comment under it, spread the word about the channel, and of course, join our communities on Instagram, Facebook, X, Threads, Discord, and pretty much everywhere you can post content these days. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!